Following presentation of the Miami Marlins.
Oh, 1. Swinging a bouncer to third, and that clips Mayo, but he stays with it. Long throw gets away. Here comes Joe Mann, and the Marlins are going to win it. Marlins win. A walk-off winner. Well, that baby was gift wrapped and set on a silver platter for the Marlins last night. Tonight, it is the highly anticipated Major League debut of Robbie Snelling, Game 1 between the Marlins and the Nationals. Here comes the man of the hour. Marlins Baseball is proudly brought to you by Warner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia. Hey, everybody, good to be back with you alongside Gabby Sanchez. Tommy Hutton is golfing. I'm Kyle Seeloff. Nice to be back with all of you tonight. What did Clayton tell us yesterday? Every winning streak starts after a loss. Now, the Marlins have got to build upon this. That was a really nice win last night.
It was a huge win, an exciting win, too. Every single time you have a walk-off win, guys get excited, but you just talked about it, right? Yeah. You have to be able to back it up. You got to continue that winning streak. If they want to do it, they have to do it here against the Nationals tonight.
Okay, so if they are going to start a winning streak tonight, they'll do it behind Robbie Snelling. Gabby, it's probably the most highly anticipated Marlins debut on the mound since Yuri Perez.
It is. And what I'm looking at, I want to see how he's going to be able to not only manage his own expectations. Remember, you're about to see somebody live out their dream of pitching in a Major League Baseball game. The adrenaline is going to be high. How is he able to manage that adrenaline? Is he going to be able to kind of take a deep breath on the mound, be doing what he was doing in AAA, which is just attacking the zone?
This is a top 50 prospect, one of the best left-handed pitchers in all of minor league baseball. He is ready to put on a show here tonight in advance of his Major League debut, and he was acquired by the Marlins at the deadline in 2024. He was the 39th overall pick by the Padres in the 2022 draft. Look, this appears, at least for the moment, to be an unbelievable deal for Peter Bendix and his crew. So Robbie Snelling will be on the mound here in just a couple of minutes, but first, our very own Kelly Sacco caught up with Robbie in advance of his debut this evening.
Thanks so much, guys. So excited to be joined by Robbie Snelling. You told me just moments ago this was the first time that you walked out onto the field. First impressions, what are they?
It's unreal. I mean, being able to see it for the first time, like watching it on TV all the time, you know, you look at the TV, you're like, that place looks like it'd be super cool to play and walk around in, and being able to come in here and see everything and just realize like how big everything is, it's unreal. So I'm super excited.
You're to be able to do just that in your Major League debut. What have these last 24 hours been like?
Whirlwind is a good way to describe it. Yeah, my head's been spinning pretty good, but I mean, that's no better feeling. It's a good head spinning. You know, getting family all situated, you know, lots of phone calls, lots of texts, answering all the congratulations texts, and just realizing like how many people I have in my corner really just brings you back to earth and like makes you appreciate, you know, all the time and effort that you put into it, all the blood, sweat, and tears into it. And it's just such a blessing to be able to have the amount of people that are supporting you, but also be given the opportunity to, you know, come up to the highest level and display your talent.
Robbie, take us back to the moment. You're in the clubhouse, you hear the words, you're going to the big leagues. What's going through your mind?
I got a little choked up for sure. I mean, you start like, people say you start getting all those flashbacks of like all the little league tournaments, high school ball, like travel ball stuff, like, and I got that. I mean, I think it's a really long road, and like, I don't necessarily know like when the big leagues became my ultimate goal of getting to, but it's a long time in the making, and it's like I got choked up. I mean, you know, being able to hug my manager and hug my pitching coach in AAA, like, it was just pretty cool. Huge weight lifted off your shoulders at the same time of like, you're not stressing about, you know, am I going to get there, and, you know, all the weight that comes with that. But I mean, just unreal. Like, I don't think that this is definitely the greatest moment. Like, hearing those words was the greatest moment of my life up to this point.
Well, everything that Robbie Snelling has ever dreamed of will come true here tonight. Wood and Edwards. How about Abrams and Lopez? Star-studded affair in Miami this weekend.
The three for me?
Warner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia, the official law firm of the Miami Marlins, by FPL, and by UHealth, pushing medicine forward. What a fun Friday night this is going to be here in Miami. And coming up next, it will be the Major League debut of the one and only Robbie Snelling. Out of Reno, Nevada, many back home very proud tonight of their 6'3", 210-pound southpaw Robbie Snelling, Gabby, who makes his Major League debut.
It's really fun when you look at a guy and you go, okay, this guy deserves it. He needed to get to the big leagues because of how dominant he was in the minor leagues.
James Wood is ready to lead things off for the Washington Nationals, and the first pitch of the Major League career of Robbie Snelling is in there. It's a curveball, a called strike one on James Wood. There's a look at the starting lineup for the Washington Nationals. It is brought to you by Florida Power and Lighting. Nationals just took 2 of 3 from the Minnesota Twins. That was capped off by a 7-5 win yesterday. They put the finishing touches on their first home series victory of the season, and Robbie Snelling has begun his career with a count of no balls and 2 strikes. 29 innings, 11 hits, 6 runs, all earned in AAA for Snelling this year. The 0-2. How about that start?
Partner, there's nothing better at all than all of a sudden making your debut. You are facing James Wood, a power threat, and you just said good morning, good afternoon, good night for your first strikeout.
The first of many in the major leagues for Robbie Snelling. 1 up and 1 down to start. Here is Curtis Mead. The Australian first baseman takes ball 1. A 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Robbie Snelling on Mead, who's batting .220 this season with 4 home runs and 15 runs batted in 29 games with the Washington Nationals. With the Nationals 18-20, they currently sit in second place in the National League East. 8 games back of the Atlanta Braves. That is the youngest manager in Major League Baseball, Blake Utera, who is managing the youngest team in Major League Baseball. This is a rocket out towards the gap in left center by Mead. That one hops off the wall. And Snelling has coughed up his first Major League hit. It's a 1-out double by Mead here in the first.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the defense behind Robbie Snelling. From left to right, you have Sanoa playing left, Ruiz at center, and Stowers at right today. From third to first, you have Jimenez at third, Lopez at shortstop, X at second, Morel at first base, and Joe Mack doing the catching.
And as a look at your Miami Marlins defense, it is brought to you by Doral Kia. A 1-out double by Curtis Mead. That's his 7th two-bagger of the season. Here is Brady House. Washington's third baseman takes ball 1. House batting .238. Playing in his 6th career game against the Marlins tonight. He appealed down to first, and he went around 1-1.
One of the biggest things, too, when you look at Robbie Snelling, one, it's going to be that fastball velocity. It's going to be anywhere between 93 and 95, but of course, he's making his Major League debut. He's got a little bit more juice in the tank. He will see some 97s and 98s.
Rotten changeup there at 92 when it's 1-2 on House.
But what I like to see is the secondary pitches and being able to throw it for a strike. I did get to speak with Daniel Moscas, and he told me he actually has 2 different changeups. Depending on how he's doing in the bullpen prior to the game, we'll know which changeup to throw.
And he just blew 97 right past House.
I mean, you really can't teach this. This is 97 miles an hour. He went changeup, followed it up with 97 up in the zone.
StatCast 3D, that's powered by Google Cloud. Here is the arsenal for Robbie Snelling with AAA Jacksonville this year.
It's going to be the mix and match between that four-seam fastball and curveball. Those are the two main pitches, but he does have a slider. He also has a gyro slider.
C.J. Abrams bangs a curveball into center field. A 2-out RBI single for C.J. Abrams, and Washington leads 1-0.
I was just about to tell you, too, you have to be careful with a guy like C.J. Abrams up to bat. Why? Because he likes to swing the bat and swing the bat early. Prior to that hit, he was hitting .571 on the first pitch of the at-bat, so he is ready to swing it.
34th run batted into the season for the Nationals. And here is a Miami killer. This is Jacob Young, who in 26 career games against the Marlins is batting .403 with 1 home run and 12 RBIs. He's batting .234 this season, and maybe the Marlins are catching him at the right time because he's batting .188 over his last 13 games. Outfielder in his 4th big league season at Ponte Vedra Beach. It was a star at the University of Florida. A run scoring 2-out single for C.J. Abrams has given the Nationals an early 1-0 lead. Curveball missed outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jacob Young. The story for these Washington Nationals this year, this is a potent offense. They have scored the 4th most runs in baseball, but their pitching has really struggled, and so too has their defense. That is flown in the air deep to left field, and how about this? Jacob Young has done it again. A 2-run home run has given Washington a 3-0 lead.
Cal, there's really nothing you can do if you're Robbie Snelling on that pitch. That's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball up and in. It was a good located fastball. It was just a really good job of a guy being able to get his hands close and tight to his body and hit it out of the ballpark. Sometimes you just, as a pitcher, you got to just tip your cap.
A lot of damage being done with 2 outs here in the 1st inning for Washington. And here is Dalen Lyle, a left-handed hitting left fielder for the Nationals, batting .245. This is a little dribbler. That's a fair ball. Spinning and firing is Joe Mack. 3 in the 1st for the Nationals. Here come the Marlins when we come back. It'll be Edwards, Stowers, and Lopez. Marlins TV is presented by Werner Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia. Beautiful look at Miami on this Friday night here in South Florida. And back inside the 72-degree air-conditioned comfort of Lone Depot Park, the Marlins will come to bat here in the bottom of the 1st. Their starting lineup is brought to you by Werner Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia. Nights off for Liam Hicks and Jacob Marcy. Xavier Edwards is set to lead things off for the 3rd time this season. He'll be followed by Otto Lopez and Kyle Stowers here in the home half of the 1st. Miami is facing Foster Griffin, the left-hander for the Nationals, who's 3-1 this season with a .227 earned run average and 7 starts. This is a fascinating story, is this 30-year-old southpaw. Born and raised in Orlando. He too 6 feet 3 inches tall, just like Robbie Snelling, who just got his welcome to the major league moment in the 1st.
I'll tell you this, though. Robert Snelling, he did give up 3, but velocity is there. The secondary pitches are really good. It was just made a good pitch. Somebody was able to hit it out. Now, what you're looking for the Marlins is for that offense to get going. Get some run support. And how are you going to do that? Well, one, you do have a guy that is a crossfire in Griffin on the mound. So that ball is going to actually barrel into those righty. There's natural cut to that fastball as well. So it's going to really bear down, and he wants to bully you. So you have to be able to pick a side of the plate because he does have 7 pitches, right? He has pitches that come into righties, but he also has sinkers and changeups that go away.
The changeup misses in the dirt to Xavier Edwards, who has hit in 8 of 9. He was 2 for 8 in the Baltimore series, and he is 7 for 24 on this homestand with a homer and a double. Playing at his 39th game of the year. He lays off a high fastball, and the count is 3-1. So for the 3rd time in the last 4 games, the Marlins have allowed their opponent to score 3 runs in the top of the 1st. Miami will play from behind here tonight. They do have 6 come from behind victories this season. This is flown in the air to deep left field. Lyles going back onto the warning track. He's at the wall, looking up, and it's gone. 3-1 in number 3 for X.
Well, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to come up, you want to score some runs, you get into a 3-1 count, you're looking for the fastball, and Xavier Edwards was all over it. An exit velo of 104, and he absolutely tattoos this baseball.
That is his first career major league home run against a left-handed pitcher.
I actually talked to him a little bit today when he was around the cage. I brought Xavier Edwards over and I said, hey, what are you doing this year compared to what you did last season? And he said, well, last season I basically had the same swing lefty and righty. I needed to change that up. Another thing too, using an axe handle grip as when I'm facing a lefty from the right hand side and I have a toe tap. So there are things that I'm doing differently from the right side than I am from the left side, and it's showing that it's the right thing because all of a sudden all the success that I'm having.
Otto Lopez hits an 0-2 fastball foul. That was another Marlins home run for healthcare. Presented by Leon Medical Centers. Each Marlins home run this season means a donation to the League Against Cancer, delivering free care in South Florida. What a difference a year makes. Last year, Xavier Edwards hit .236 against left-handed pitching. He just hit his first career homer against the lefty, and he's batting .324 against southpaws this season. So the Marlins immediately get one back, and here is Otto Lopez, who's riding a 10-game hitting streak that has seen him hit .405 with 5 multi-hit games. Now that is yanked fair, rolling down the left field line. This is going to sneak into the corner where Lyle picks it up. A homer and a double to start things here in the bottom of the 1st for the Marlins.
This is exactly what the Marlins needed to get things going offensively. We saw what they were able to do yesterday, walk-off win, and it has continued here today. All of a sudden, you fall behind 3-0. As an offense, you go, hey, let's help the rookie out who's making his debut. Let's take some pressure. And the way you do that, by scoring runs. A really nice job there by Otto Lopez. Gets the breaking ball, stays on that pitch. It was a split finger off the edge of the corner and is able to wrap it to left field for a double.
10th double of the season for Otto Lopez, who has now hit in 11 straight. Here is Kyle Stowers, who's hitting .220. He has hit in 4 of his last 6 games. We have a challenge.
I think they're going to get this.
This is a Nationals challenge. ABS is powered by T-Mobile. It was a called ball. That is a strike. It's 0-1 on Stowers.
And he threw the curveball, front door just wrapped around in. Ruiz does a nice job of challenging that call. This is where if you're Stowers, though, you're looking to catch something out in front. You want to pull this ball to the right side. Worst case scenario, you get Otto Lopez, you move him over to third.
Swing and a miss. Well, a homer and a double to start this home half of the 1st. That sweeper misses low.
Now for Stowers, it's a battle. You have 2 strikes on you. Now this is a team at bat where you got to do everything you can just to put this ball in play. You want to try to be up the middle to the right side of the field.
Now this is ripped down the right field line, but that will twist foul into the seats. And the Marlins are all over Foster Griffin to start this ball game.
Not too many teams have been all over Foster Griffin because he's been really good on the mound. He's had three straight quality starts in his last 3 starts.
He's coming off his first loss of the season, however, as he delivers a 1-2 that's nubbed towards first. Flagging it down is Meade, and his throw to first rolls all the way over to the Nationals dugout. Otto Lopez can come in and score. And E3 has made it 3-2. In the major league leading 35th error of the season committed by Washington.
But I love it too, because I guarantee you that Stowers knew what he needed to do. You got to get that ball and you got to be able to pull it. Meade is able to get that ball. It's tough too when you have a pitcher who's running towards first base, ends up overthrowing it. Otto Lopez easily able to come in and score from second.
Simon Matthews, young pitching coach for the Nationals, is out there to have a conversation with Foster Griffin. Gave up 3 unearned runs over 6 innings against the Brewers last Saturday. They shoot a career-high 4 walks and a 4-1 loss. 30-year-old is out of Orlando. He was the 28th overall pick in 2014 by the Kansas City Royals. They do charge the first baseman Meade with the error. That's his 4th of the year. And here is Christopher Morel. That's a costly 2-base error by Meade. Stowers at second. A homer, a double, a 2-base error, E3. Here's Morel.
I'm looking at Morel's numbers and I was kind of studying him. And when he was working really well, he had his 26 home runs in the season. He was on the fastball. And one of the things that I have seen lately is that he's letting those fastballs go by, almost like if he's guessing off speed.
Pops this one up. And just out of the reach of Ruiz.
I would love to see him go more into attack mode, getting that foot down a little bit earlier for that fastball. He can then make the adjustments between the fastball and the changeup.
Well, Morel just 1 for his last 12 at the plate, batting a .190 this season for the Marlins. He is 4 for 18 on this homestand. Playing in his 8th career game against the Nationals tonight. He waits on a 1-2 and he flies that foul.
It's the same concept here as Kyle Stowers. You know that defensively the Nationals are not very good. They rank last in fielding percentage in all of baseball. So put the ball in play, make them make plays on you.
Ground ball left side. Low throw at first is picked by Meade, and there's one away.
Let's take a look at the Nationals defense. From left to right, you have Lau left, Young at center, and Joey Weimer in right. From third to first, you have House, Abrams at shortstop, Nunez at second, Curtis Meade at first, and Ruiz at the catch.
Defense brought to you by Doral Kia. Here is Connor Norby. 20 pitches already here in the first for Griffin, whose knuckle curve misses high. Ball 1 on Connor Norby, who's batting .236. There's a swing and a miss. Good cutter that time from Griffin. Connor Norby has a 106 OPS plus in 35 games this season. He's having a nice year.
Now let's take a look at Foster Griffin's arsenal because there is a lot of pitches, enough to where I don't even know if the pitch comm has enough buttons for these. But it's a cutter, four-seam sweeper, sinker, changeup, curveball, and a split finger. So he has two different types of changeups. One that's going to kind of go away from a right-hander into a lefty, but he also has that split that's going to play down. He loves to throw that cutter. It's the pitch that he will throw the most, especially into righties.
There's a swing and a miss by Connor, who expanded the strike zone and went after a high fastball. So after the mound visit by Simon Matthews, Foster Griffin has started to settle down a little bit after the homer double in E3. There's two away now for Javier Sanoja.
The thing, too, with Foster Griffin, he's not an overpowering guy, but he knows how to pitch. He knows how to hit corners. He knows how to move that ball in and out. He will also go up and down.
Grounded weakly left side, diving his house to his feet, fires the first inning over. But the Marlins get a pair of runs back here in the first, and the party got started. Courtesy of Xavier Edwards with his third home run of the season. And after one, it's 3-2.
Welcome back. Robbie Snelling on the mound for his second inning of work. His first career strikeout came on his bread and butter, his curveball. And as we can see from our Toyota trend, it's a pitch that he's relied on a ton at the AAA level. Snelling was ranked second across AAA pitchers in 2026 with 17 strikeouts on that curveball. I talked to Rob Marcello, who was Snelling's pitching coach in Jacksonville. He said, the curve, it's his main weapon. It's been good since he's been drafting. Snelling can trust it, and he relies on it a ton. Because of this, his arsenal, opponents are really leaning on that one. They don't know how wide the arsenal is, guys. Marcello told me that Snelling, he works very diligently every single day on his other pitches. He just hasn't deployed them as much. But tonight, everything is in play.
All right, Kelly, thank you very much. And I would imagine we will really start to see Mr. Snelling start to settle down now that he has an inning under his belt.
I think that now the jitters all of a sudden are going to go away, and you're going to be able to see what Robbie Snelling can do on the mound.
Joey Weimer leads off the second, and he takes a called strike. Good fastball that time from Snelling.
When Snelling is on, it's a high fastball where he tunnels it with the curveball. But what we've seen today, too, is that he can throw that curveball any count whenever he wants.
And Weimer lays off the curveball in the dirt.
We saw that first at bat against James Wood. Threw a really good curveball, then a little bit lower, and then he really got kind of around it, almost like a sweeper, to get the swing and the miss. And that was against James Wood. So he does have that ability where he doesn't even need to utilize that fastball.
3-2 changeup, misses low ball 4. And Robbie Snelling has issued his first walk of the night. Kelly mentioned Rob Marcello. In 2025, the Marlins hired Rob, who had worked, as Kelly mentioned, with Snelling in the Padres organization as the pitching coach at AAA Jacksonville. And when the Marlins promoted Snelling to Jacksonville last July, the then 21-year-old teamed up with Marcello, and those two proceeded to go on his best run as a pro. In 18 career AAA starts, he had only allowed more than 2 runs once, when he allowed 3 runs on April 3rd against the Sugar Land Skeeters. Here's a bunt towards first. Snelling's got to hurry. That's going to be a base hit bunt for the former Marlins draftee, Nasim Nunez. The Nationals love to bunt just about more than anybody in baseball, and Nasim Nunez just caught the Marlins defense with their britches down there.
One of the things, too, is that understanding that you have a lefty on the mound. Where are they going to fall? They're going to fall towards that third base side. So what does Nunez do? All he needs to do is just make sure that he is able to bunt that ball just past Snelling. If he's able to get it past Snelling, that's going to be an easy base hit for him to that right side because of the way that Snelling is falling off the mound.
So 2 aboard with nobody out. Marlins just got 2 back in the bottom of the first, and here is Keibert Ruiz. Switch hitting catcher, batting 9th. Foul tips that right into the mitt of Joe Mack, who teams up with Robbie Snelling here this evening. There's certainly some comfortability there between Snelling and Mack.
Yeah, there's a reason why Mack is behind the plate today with Robbie Snelling on the mound. Not only because he's been absolutely fantastic since he's been called up behind the plate, but it's because you do have that comfortable spot where you have a catcher that you've already thrown balls to. You know kind of how he works. you have that comfort level, and for a pitcher who's making his debut, you want him to be as comfortable as he can on that mound.
And Joe getting his Mother's Day started early. Well, if you're Snelling, you want to find a way to really shut down the Nationals right here after you gave up the RBI single and 2-run homer in the first. Ruiz batting .214 for Washington. And coming off a series victory yesterday at home. Ground ball hit weakly to shortstop. Lopez feeds it to Edwards for one. The turn at first, a double play. Taylor made 6-4-3, and there's 2 out.
The pitcher's best friend, and he does it off the curveball. Ruiz up. He's a double play candidate. Nice, easy 6-4-3 double play.
That's your Doral Kia double play, and a big one for Robbie Snelling here in the second. Here is James Wood, who Snelling struck out on 3 pitches to start his major league career. Starts him off with a curveball here. That's a called ball. On an appeal, they say Wood went around. If he didn't, Joe Mack was ready to challenge that pitch.
Well, Kyle, what's fun, too, is that when you're looking at Robbie Snelling, the way that he's attacking James Wood, there's a reason for that, right? The numbers will tell you. Right now, James Wood hitting off the fastball, he's hitting .347. He's only hitting .113 off the breaking balls. What is Snelling doing? I'm going to just throw you a whole bunch of breaking balls.
That one missed a little low. It's 1-1 on James Wood. He's in his 3rd major league season. He was an all-star last year. He was a multi-sport star growing up in the Washington, D.C. area. There's a called strike, and it's 1-2. Robbie Snelling is the 3rd Marlin this season to strike out the first batter in his major league debut. The 1-2 to Wood is grounded softly to first. Morel's got it, steps on the bag. Couple aboard, nobody out. Robbie Snelling works around damage here in the second. Beautiful Friday night here in South Florida. It's 3-2 Washington as we go to the last of the second.
Esta transmisión de los Marlins está disponible en español.
One of the many nearby neighborhoods here in Miami as we go to the bottom of the second at Lone Depot Park, where the Nationals have a 3-2 lead tonight. Washington scored 3 runs in the first inning off of Robbie Snelling, who is making his major league debut this evening for the Marlins. Then Miami got 2 right back as Mack dribbles 1 foul. Marlins got 2 back in the bottom of the first after Xavier Edwards hit his 3rd career leadoff home run, and it's been one of the many pitching struggles for this Washington Nationals ball club that ranks in the bottom 3rd of Major League Baseball in team ERA and hits allowed. And most notably, they have now given up a major league leading 56 home runs, and they're playing their 39th game tonight. But with all that being said, the Nationals are 18-20. They're at 2nd place in the National League East. Playing game 1 of this 3-game weekend series against the Marlins tonight, who were 17-21, and they captured a 4-3 walk-off win over the Orioles last night in dramatic fashion. 2nd walk-off win of the season for the Marlins a night ago. They sure did need it too, didn't they? Joe Mack was at 2nd. He hit his first career double with 2 outs, and he scored on the Javier Sinoja ground ball to 3rd that was botched by Kobe Mayo and subsequently thrown right down the right field line. He just got a piece of that curveball, and it's a ball and 2 strikes on Joe Mack, who's off to a 3-for-10 start in his major league career.
He looks comfortable. It's hard being a catcher coming up. Yeah, you may have caught a lot of these guys during spring training, but it's a lot different spring training as it is regular season.
It's a fair ball over the bag at first, and Meade steps on the bag. And there's one away here in the second. Marlins.tv is powered by Major League Baseball. We thank you for joining us on this Friday night, wherever you might be, however you might be tuning in. Special night for the Marlins As Robbie Snelling is making his major league debut, he negotiated a couple of men on base with nobody out in the second inning, got out of that unscathed. So Snelling is starting to settle in. His boys got him 2 back in the bottom of the first. And here is Leo Jimenez, the right-handed hitting third baseman, who's making his 8th start with the Marlins here tonight. This is the 6th major league debut by a Marlin this year. It's off the end of the bat, and that is past the reach of Nasim Nunez into center field for Leo Jimenez. 1 out single, and the Marlins have a man aboard.
Just nice little job by Leo Jimenez, just staying on that pitch and driving it. We talked about what you need to do against a guy like Foster Griffin, right? You have to be able to pick a side of the plate. It's either you're going to look out over the plate away, and you're going to try to hit those cutters that are out there, the sinkers and the changeups, or you have to look in. Well, for me, Leo Jimenez was looking out over the plate. He got his pitch and drove it right back up the middle.
So a little speed at first. Here's a broken background ball left side on a cutter by Esteri Ruiz, who beats out the return throw to first. Forced out at second is Jimenez, and now there's 2 out. We'll go back to the top of the order.
Now this is where I want to see Ruiz be aggressive and try to take second base early on in the count, especially with a guy like Xavier Edwards up to bat.
There is a lefty on the mound.
There is a lefty on the mound, but I don't care. You're a speed guy. You got to be able to get yourself to second base, get yourself into scoring position for that top of the lineup to be able to score you. Worst case scenario, you're out, and all of a sudden the top of the lineup is leading off next inning.
Ball 1 on Xavier Edwards, who hit his 3rd career leadoff home run in the bottom of the first. 3-2 Washington here in the second. With a boatload of speed at first, Ruiz is not going, and Edwards takes a strike.
Well, you just saw what Foster Griffin will do, especially with the runner on first. He kind of brings that leg up, and he's reading the runner. If he doesn't see him go, then he throws that ball home. But if he brings that leg up, he stays perpendicular, so he doesn't bring the foot over his leg to be able to be a balk. He just keeps it straight up so he can make the decision of, if I see you go, I can go ahead and throw that ball over to first. You still have to pick and choose, though. If you're going to go, you got to go first movement.
Now the home plate umpire Charlie Ramos is telling Foster Griffin, hey, you got to make sure Edwards is looking at you before you're ready to deliver the ball. Nestor Sejas, our third base umpire. Chris Guccione, the crew chiefs, at second. James Jean is at first here in game 1 of this 3-game series. A 1-1 to Edwards, misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's been a really nice homestand so far for X. Now he's 8 for 25 with a pair of homers and a double. And he has crushed the Nationals in his career. In 21 games, he's a .329 hitter. Runner takes off, and the throw down to second sails into center. Ruiz will stop at second with his 4th stolen base of the season.
And smart, too, by Ruiz. They're not trying to get himself over to third. He's already in scoring position. Right? You're already in scoring position. This is great. This was first move. A lot of times, too, if a pitcher's looking at you, he's going to more than likely go home. He read it perfectly. Great jump, great slide into second. And I love, too, that he was going to be aggressive and decided, nope, I got to shut it down.
Now he takes off for third, and the throw down there is not in time.
If you're going to steal third in that situation, you better make sure that you're going to be able to get it. But he read it perfectly. He saw that Foster Griffin wasn't even paying him any attention, and he was off and running.
That's now 5 stolen bases on the season for Ruiz. The Major League stolen base leader is currently playing second base for the Nationals. That's Nasim Nunez. He has 14. And there's ball 4 to Edwards, who will go to first. And you've got to imagine it won't take him long, Gabby, to take off and steal second. Because if you throw down to second here, Ruiz is going to walk home.
Yes, I agree with what you're saying. But you have a guy like Otto Lopez up. I don't mind all of a sudden keeping Curtis Mead at first base, holding on Xavier Edwards, because that's going to all of a sudden open up that hole. We have seen Otto Lopez be able to just punch balls to that right side.
So you're suggesting you'd rather see Edwards stay put?
I want to see him just stay put there, give a bigger opening on that right side.
He is not going, and Lopez takes a strike.
And if they all of a sudden they go ahead and they do steal Edwards, now you have the ability to go ahead and just walk Otto Lopez, and then all of a sudden it's a lefty-lefty matchup with Kyle Stowers.
This is a flare out towards right center field. On the run is Joey Weimer, and he runs it down. Marlins leave a pair on here in the second. After 2, Washington leads by 1. Top of the 3rd inning scoreboard brought to you by Werner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia. Nationals lead 3-2. They got 3 runs in the first, and this offense, Gabby, this season has been really good. This is one of the better offenses in all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, you kind of start looking at their team up and down the lineup. They've got guys that can hit. They have guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. They like to steal. They put the ball in play.
So 3rd inning of work for Robbie Snelling. And here is Curtis Mead, who doubled and scored back in inning number 1. What would you like to see second time through the order here for Snelling?
One, I want to see him be able to utilize that fastball and command the strike zone with that fastball. I've seen the fastball kind of play off arm side. He's not really getting around it, just like that pitch there. He's not really able to command that outside part of the plate. He is able to command the zone with the curveball, but what ends up happening is guys are going to start sitting on that pitch if you can't throw that fastball for a strike.
2 balls, 1 strike to count on Mead, who pops this foul back in our direction. It's 2-2. Nationals got 3 in the first. Marlins got 2, and then both Robbie Snelling and Foster Griffin worked around a little bit of trouble in their respective seconds. On a 2-2. Fastball missed inside ball 3. And we have a challenge. This is a Marlins challenge. Joe Max thinks this may have been a strike. Let's see. No, it just missed inside by a whisker.
Oh, man. That is as close as you're going to possibly get.
Yes, it is.
Less
than 1/10 of an inch.
That's like a hair.
Yep.
I wouldn't know. But you.
Yeah, that's right. You would not, Baldy. Now the 3-2 is ripped on the line into left for Javier Sanoja. And there's one away. So this Nationals ball club, only 65 of their 1,485 plate appearances this season have been taken by a player 28 years or older.
That's it.
They are the youngest team in Major League Baseball under the tutelage of the youngest manager. Now Brady House sends one to center. And Ruiz has got that. There's 2 away. Well, make sure you start your week off with Marlins baseball. Catch the Marlins versus the Braves May 18th through the 21st. And get great deals for the whole family. Enjoy 4 for $44. Presented by Pepsi, and get 4 tickets with hot dogs, popcorn, and drinks, all for just $44. Plus $1 kids tickets and more offers all week. Get your tickets at marlins.com/tickets. Robbie Snelling faces C.J. Abrams for the second time, who singled home a run back in the first. Snelling is retired 4 in a row if you go back to the double play in the second. Abrams waves and misses at a good curveball. It's quickly 0-2.
I mean, that curveball it's a really good pitch, especially if he's able to tunnel it off that fastball.
C.J. Abrams is in his 5th season for the Washington Nationals, their mainstay at shortstop, as he takes that outside. Abrams was an all-star in 2024, making a little less than $4.5 million this year. Shortstop out of Alpharetta, Georgia, waits on a 1-2 and almost hit him in the kneecaps.
Yeah, this is the best that I've ever seen C.J. Abrams, especially to start off this season. The way that he's swinging the bat, the way that he's playing, you can see he's trying to take that next step.
He better be careful after every pitch that he throws, Snelling. He taps the top of his hat. It's a little tick that he has, but it could very easily be mistaken for wanting to challenge a pitch.
Right. He did it early on at one point, and I was like, wait, he wants the challenge? And then it wasn't. It's just something that he does to get.
It's a little tick that he has.
It's almost like to get the hat back on his head. I wonder if that's something, too, that they talk to the umpires about, like, hey, by the way, he does hit the top of his hat every single time that he throws. He's not challenge anything.
He could say, hey,
I'm the one that's
you'll know when I want to challenge.
Well, I don't think pitchers are allowed to challenge for the Marlins.
3-2 missed inside, ball 4, and Snelling loses Abrams with 2 outs. They can, they just do not.
They don't. That's I believe the second time that he's got into a 3-2 count. One time he threw a changeup. That time he threw the curveball. I want to see him be a little bit more aggressive with that fastball. It's a good pitch. It's 97 miles an hour.
Here's Jacob Young, who hit his second career home run against the Marlins back in the first. Snelling starts him off with a curveball that missed outside. Here's the home run back in the first, and it was a bomb.
It was. I mean, a good pitch, too. That's a fastball. It's up and in. But, boy, Jacob Young just pulls those hands tight and close to his body. I remember that he did that to Yuri Perez back when Yuri Perez was a rookie, where it was a 100-mile-an-hour fastball up and in, and he took him out to left field, and it was a quick, easy swing. So it's almost like a Dan Uggla. Don't mess around with those guys who have a little bit shorter arms inside that fastball, with the inside fastball.
Those alligator arms will bite you. Fastball missed low. And now it's 3-0 on Jacob Young. Well, you can only imagine the nerves that are running through the veins of Robbie Snelling here tonight, making his long-awaited and highly anticipated Major League debut. And Jacob Young thinks this was ball 4. Charlie Ramos did call this fastball a strike. Let's see if Young is right. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Here's a look. And that is a strike. Right at the knees, and Young will have to go back to the batter's box.
To be honest, I didn't like that challenge by Young in a 3-0 count, unless you're like 100% sure there's no way that that's going to be. But a pitch that's that close, no reason to challenge there.
So in the third inning with 2 outs, both teams only have 1 challenge remaining as Snelling comes home with a 3-1, and that missed, ball 4. Back-to-back 2-out walks issued by Robbie Snelling. And before Dalen Lyle bats, let's briefly pause and get you a quick word from our friends at FPL.
At FPL, our teams are working every day because reliability isn't an option, it's a commitment. FPL, working for you every single day.
Well, Joe Mack out there to have a quick conversation with Miami's 22-year-old left-hander Robbie Snelling, making his Major League debut tonight. I want to talk about Snelling a little bit. We're talking about an impressive young man out of Reno, Nevada, who went to Reno's McQueen High School. He was a star football player. He was a linebacker. He was the starting quarterback. He did it all. And at one point, he was about 25 pounds heavier. He used to carry about 235, 40 pounds in that big frame of his.
I mean, he's still a strong man.
He is.
He's got some quads on him. You could just imagine him out on a football field with the pads on in high school with that size.
He needed that kind of mass to play middle linebacker. Here's your Good Greek Moving and Storage roster move of the day. Robbie Snelling had his contract selected from Jacksonville. Stephen Jones was designated for assignment. He did not make his Major League debut with Miami. So 2 balls and no strikes on Dalen Lyle, Washington's left-handed hitting left fielder. And here's a snap throw back to second, and Abrams is back in standing out. We have not yet seen Joe Mack have an opportunity to throw out a potential base stealer that he was so prolific at doing down in the minor leagues. Here's the 2-0, and that swung on. It missed. It's 2-1. That was a really good curveball in the dirt.
The way the game is going right now, every single time that Robbie Snelling needs a strike, he's going to the curveball to get it.
And he should go right after Lyle, who's batting just .119 in his last 12 games. The 2-1 is yanked towards first. To his knees as Morel gets up, a race to the bag. He dives and he got there in time. Oh boy, I hope Christopher Morel is okay. The inning is over here at Lone Depot Park. The Nationals come up empty-handed. 2.5 innings in the books here in Miami tonight. Still 3-2 Washington.
Summer's here. Welcome back, everyone. You might remember our friend Richard from Tokyo. We introduced you to him a little bit earlier this season. Caught our attention on social media. He's a big Miami sports fan, including the Miami Marlins. He wakes up at 7 a.m., has breakfast with the Marlins during our night games. Well, not only did he catch our attention on social media, he also caught the attention of Marlins manager Clayton McCullough and his family, who sent him that gift pack that you see him unwrapping right there, guys. Clayton said, you know, it was so cool to see a fan all the way in Japan supporting the Miami Marlins. He wakes up even earlier, guys, for those 1 o'clock games. And he said, we got to send him a little something. So him and his wife, Jill, and their kids put a little gift box together. It's got all types of updated gear, guys. You saw the bobbleheads, and they had a little card, too, thanking him for his support. They say, hey, we hope to see you out here at Lone Depot Park one day. How cool would that be?
Oh, yeah, it's great. I DM with Richard. I love that he watches. He had a pullover in the box. He had a baseball. There was a signed ball. Big fan. We have fans in Japan, Gabby. That's where you used to play.
There's a lot of fans in Japan. Love the Marlins.
And then, unfortunately, you were kicked out of the country. You had to come back home, but you did have an opportunity to play over there.
It's a beautiful place.
You were misbehaving. It's a very polite country, right? You have to be very polite. You were not polite.
I was definitely polite. What are you talking about? That was really nice. I towered over everybody.
I bet you did. I can imagine you did.
I couldn't go into any clothing store there. I had to go to the big man store.
The big
Because over there, I was about a 5X.
Yes.
It was like, where can I find a shirt for me? And they'll tell me, nope, not here.
Kyle Stowers strikes out on a Foster Griffin sweeper, and there's one away here to start the last of the third. Don't forget, all of our games re-air nightly after our post-game show and at 8 a.m. the following day. Great mission. Rod Allen will be with you after the ball game here tonight, breaking down the Major League debut of Robbie Snelling and hoping to break down a come-from-behind victory as well. There's ball one to Christopher Morel, who's one for his last 13 at the plate after he grounded out the shortstop back in the first. Foster Griffin is starting to settle in a little bit here. And speaking of Japan, he knows a thing or two about pitching overseas, Gabby. This is a young man, we told you, was the 28th overall pick in 2014 by the Royals. He debuted in 2020, had Tommy John, missed all of 2021. He made 5 big league appearances in 2022 between Kansas City and Toronto. And he went to Japan for the last 3 seasons. This is popped in the air to the pitcher's mound. And Foster Griffin's got it, and there's 2 away. But anyway, when Griffin went overseas, the last 3 seasons in Japan, he made 54 appearances for the Yomiuri Giants, won 18 games, had a .257 ERA, a little over 300 innings of work. And it was really cool to kind of watch his story. And by the way, he parlayed that success into a $5.5 million deal stateside this year. But he said flat out, I learned how to be a starting pitcher again. And that is often a sentiment that is shared by a lot of failed starters that go to Japan and come back after what I guess you could call a little bit of rehab.
The thing is, too, the amount of work that players do when you're playing in Japan, and starting pitchers as well.
Connor Norby pops this cutter up just to the right of the pitcher's mound. Curtis Mead's got it, and the side is retired. Nothing across for the Marlins here in the third. Top Top of the fourth inning scoreboard is powered by FPL. The Nationals have a 3-2 lead over the Marlins. Neither team has scored since the first. Robbie Snelling back out for his fourth inning of work. He's thrown 56 pitches in his major league debut. Had to work around a pair of 2-out walks in the third. Joey Wiemer leads off the fourth inning for Washington. He waves and misses at a slider from Robbie Snelling. Time now for tonight's youth player of the ball game, and this is Haley Roberto, who plays for the Marlins MLB Youth Academy on the Guppies. She loves drawing, singing, and playing the piano, and her favorite Marlin is Sandy Alcantara as Wiemer wraps one on the ground to short. And a bang-bang play at first. I think Wiemer wants Drew Butera to take a look. But to the naked eye, it looked like Wiemer was out, and he is. He was hustling, though, wasn't he?
He was flying down that line, and I think for Otto Lopez, for the next time, he's got to remember, you know what, Joey Wiemer can put him up and put him down. That was close.
We saw that from Wiemer last season. Wiemer got off to an unbelievable start with the Washington Nationals, but he slowed up as of late, batting under 200 over his last 20 games as Nasim Nunez steps into the batter's box for the Nationals. Nunez has become the mainstay at second base for Washington. Boy, was he elated when Drew Butera told him in West Palm Beach this spring that you're going to be my everyday second baseman. And he shows another bunt. He pushes another. Going to be a tough play for Robbie Snelling, who fires it to first and got him. What a play. What an athletic play by Robbie Snelling to get Nunez. Wow.
You got to love the athleticism. We talked about the football background. Well, he went after this ball real quick. How about the turn, flip, and fire over to first base? Not an easy play for a pitcher to make, especially a lefty, because he has to run a long way to get there. But he picks up that ball, low throw, get it over, get the out. Really nice play.
And a nice stretch at first by Morrell, who's making just his fourth start of the season over there. This is popped up. Joe Mack is there. He's got it. And that is a perfect fourth inning for Robbie Snelling. Bottom of the fourth inning here at Lone Depot Park, where Javier Sanoja is going to lead things off for the Marlins. And this was the walk-off against the Orioles last night, Gabby.
That Sanoja going up there, and you could just see it's going to be a routine ground ball. Nope, gets away, gets up. And I was talking to you during the break when we were looking at it. I'm like, tell you what, Pete Alonso didn't do a good job at first base there, but Marlins will take it because they end up getting a walk-off win. And Sanoja, yeah, he's getting peppered.
It was one way to snap a 4-game losing streak, wasn't it? Marlins need to come from behind here tonight. They trailed 3-0 after a half inning of play, but they got 2 runs back for Robbie Snelling in the first. Neither team has scored the last 2 innings. Here we are in the bottom of the fourth, and Sanoja went around on that changeup, and it's a ball and a strike, or 0-2, I beg your pardon. Javier Sanoja 0 for 1 tonight, and he lines that softly back up the middle. Here comes Abrams, and he throws him out. What away here in the fourth. Barbie Days coming up. More on that. Here's Kelly.
Meets baseball tomorrow. Barbie Game Day returns for 10 p.m. as the Marlins take on the Nationals. It's a special ticket package that includes an exclusive Barbie cap. Don't miss it. You can get your tickets today at marlins.com, and you already know I have the Barbie cap with me. This is part of the special ticket package. Check out how cute this is. All pink. It's got the outline of the blue. You know I've got my pink outfit ready for tomorrow. Again, special ticket package, marlins.com for more information. Don't want to miss out. Now, this was very popular a couple years ago. That's why they're bringing it back.
So is the blue for Barbie's boyfriend Ken?
I don't know. I'm going to have to inquire.
Kelly's, or any way that you can give me 3 of those? Got 3.
I got you,
I got
Gabby.
3 girls that would.
Yeah, I'd prefer you take home 2, and then your girls start to pull each other hair out for the other.
Tommy Hutton brought some home for his niece, his granddaughters, that is. This is going to go to my niece. She'll grow into it one day. This is great, guys.
It's a really nice
Big
hat.
fan.
Yeah.
Well, Joe
Check
Mack
it
was
out.
in the spirit. I assume he was supporting Mother's Day, but maybe he was also supporting Barbie Day tomorrow. He's got his pink catcher's gear on. He's also batting right now for Miami with nobody on and 1 out here in the 4th. I guess that was rather presumptuous of me. I thought Ken was just Barbie's boyfriend. Is that not true?
It is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. That's nice. I hope they're doing well. Not that I really care, but I hope everybody's happy. And did Barbie have a last name?
Maytel? Is that what
One
it
name,
makes
like
him?
Cher. Barbie.
Oh, okay. All right, good to know. I'm learning.
I have no idea.
Ruiz held on to that cutter, and Joe Mack strikes out. And there's 2 away. That's 6 in a row retired by Foster Griffin, going back to the 2nd. The 3rd strikeout of the night for Griffin. And here comes Leo Jimenez. Would have made a lot more sense for Foster Griffin to be a professional golfer. His dad is a teaching golf pro, and Foster was good enough that in 7th grade he was on the high school varsity golf team. But instead of pursuing a PGA career, Foster's path led him right down that of a Major League Baseball route. He actually, for the last 20 years, has known Zach Greinke, who grew up in the Orlando area. And Foster's dad gave Zach a few golf lessons, and Zach started to become familiar with Foster. And actually, when he started to get really good coming out of high school, it was Zach Greinke who recommended a few agencies to the Griffin family.
Zach Greinke was a heck of a shortstop, too, coming out of high school.
Yes, he was.
And then all of a sudden, he got on the mound and started throwing 97 miles an hour, and they said, that might be better for you.
1-2 to Jimenez is lined to 3rd. That was scalded, but House was right there to pick it off. A perfect bottom of the 4th inning for Foster Griffin. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base for Miami.
You hit your...
Marlins baseball is presented by Doral Kia, home of the Pricito. Night is falling here in Miami as we go to the top of the 5th inning at Lone Depot Park. Scoreboard brought to you by Werner, Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia. It'll be Wood, Mead, and House for the Nationals, facing Robbie Snelling, who you would imagine, and by all accounts, it sounds as if the Marlins will be very aggressive with tonight. He may very well go 5 innings, and then Clayton McCullough will go to a very well-rested bullpen. But we'll see as James Wood takes a ball downstairs. It's 1-1.
It'll be interesting to see where they go, but you're right. If he's able to get through 5 innings, making his Major League debut, going 5, only allowing 3 runs against a team that's been putting up a bunch of runs, that was a heck of a start.
A couple of former Nationals farmhands going at it here with Snelling and Wood at the plate. Wood was drafted by the Padres in the 2nd round in 2021. They lured him away from a Mississippi State commitment. And James Wood was a part of the Juan Soto trade. Robbie Snelling, of course, part of the Marlins trade, which at the moment looks really good for Miami. That trade that sent Brian Hoeing and Tanner Scott the other way a couple of years back, and Robbie Snelling, Graham Pauley come back the other way.
Was Marcy in that one too?
He was not. That was the Luis Arraez deal.
Luis Arraez deal. There's been a lot of trades with San Diego.
Yes. Yeah. Well, these 2 teams in particular.
Yeah.
With the Soto deal and a multitude of deals between the Marlins and the Padres in recent years. Snelling comes home with a 2-2 that's hit foul. Robbie Snelling was the centerpiece of the blockbuster. He was acquired by the Marlins July 30th, 2024, along with Adam Mazur, who's currently rehabbing from Tommy John surgery, Graham Pauley, who's recently optioned to AAA Jacksonville, and Jay Bashirs, Brian Hoeing, and Tanner Scott. The curveball misses high on Wood, who's 0 for 2 tonight. The count is full. Robbie Snelling, coming out of McQueen High School in Reno, Nevada. He was actually set to play both football and baseball at the University of Arizona. But when head coach Jay Johnston left Arizona for LSU, Snelling was ready to follow and commit to baseball full time. This is flown out to the warning track by Wood, and there's 1 away. Snelling was going to follow Jay Johnson to LSU, and then those plans changed once again. And the Padres selected him 39th overall in the draft. And what was reported at the time, he got a $3 million signing bonus, which was well above slot value. And now there's a handful of former Padres first-round picks that are just lingering around Major League Baseball, and they are not playing for the Padres. But the Padres are off to a nice start this season. And that's always the dilemma, Gabby, and it's a conversation you and I could have, because there is a school of thought where people say, look, if you have prospects, that's what they're for. Prospects are suspects until they prove themselves. And there's the 2022 MLB draft notables, Holiday and Jacob Berry, who may very well, by the way, be on the doorstep of making his Major League debut with Miami. He is off to a terrific start this season in Jacksonville, as that one got away from Joe Mack. But here's the deal, different teams have different circumstances, and there's different financial areas in which teams to play with. But, the Padres have been of the school of thought, we have prospects for a reason. And if you really love our prospects, we're going to trade them to you. Good luck with them. Maybe it'll bite us, but we're looking for big league pieces in return. In the case of the Marlins, they are going to build this thing around their prospects. They're going to sign, they're going to draft, they're going to trade, and they're going to develop young players to ultimately get them to where they'd like to go.
Yeah, for me, I look at the Marlins almost like a pyramid, right? You need a big base, that base being the minor league system. And if you have a successful minor league system, you're going to have a successful big league team, because you're always able to have that next man up mentality. So for the Marlins, it's, hey, yeah, we want all these guys. We want a lot of players in the minor leagues who are doing well, because we know it's going to be able to just funnel into the big leagues. For the Padres, you're right. They look at prospects as they're just nothing but a piece to be able to get big leaguers for.
Meade yanks that foul. This is very much, and we have talked about this over the years, there's an obvious connection with Marlins president of baseball operations, Peter Bendix, and the Tampa Bay Rays, who oftentimes will trade maybe their best players, but they have supplemented those trades with top-tier farm system talent, also very similar to what we see with the Milwaukee Brewers, right? Those are often teams, once in a while, they'll put some cash forward, and they'll extend some players, they'll sign some players, but more often than not, the way that they've won over the years is we are going to sign, draft, and develop. And at the second or third year of arbitration, we're going to trade those players. We're going to get elite talent back in return, and you start to funnel them back through the farm system. And it can be a great way to go about it, which is evidenced by the Tampa Bay Rays start this year.
One of the teams that I remember doing it when I was playing was the Cardinals.
Yes, you're right.
The Cardinals, it always seemed like, oh, Albert Pujols is gone. No worries. We have another guy who's going to hit you 35 home runs that's coming up from the minor league system. You're like, where are they finding all these players from?
Yeah.
But it was that same concept. Develop the players, understand that, hey, you're going to have these good guys in AAA, and when all of a sudden you need to get rid of somebody, you have the next man up mentality who's going to be able to just go right in that spot and be successful.
The Marlins certainly feel like they have a really special talent here in Robbie Snelling, and we've seen some of that talent on display here tonight as he readies with pitch number 10 to Curtis Meade. And that missed low, ball 4. No, strike 3 call. And Meade will challenge, and he might have a beef here, Gabby. That looked really low.
That looked down. I do not see this being a strike.
No, that's way too low. And ball 4 to Meade, who wins that 10-pitch battle. And Robbie Snelling has walked his 3rd national of the night. Don't miss a moment this season with Marlins.tv, presented by Werner Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia. Stream the entire season within Marlins territory for just $99.99. Watch games at home or on the go and stay connected all year long, subject to national exclusivities. Visit Marlins.tv for details and start streaming today. I beg your pardon, that was the 4th walk of the night issued by Robbie. 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th. Let's see if he can work his way out of trouble here in inning number 5 with the Nationals leading 3-2. Brady House is 0 for 2 tonight. He struck out back in the 1st, and he flew out to center back in the 3rd. As he quickly falls behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Brady House is in his 2nd major league season. The Nationals took him 11th overall back in 2021. They lured him away from a commitment to the University of Tennessee for a whopping $5 million. I would too.
Yeah.
Yep, for $5 million. I would.
4 mil, 5 mil. That's life-changing.
At the time, Gabby, he had to break that news to now manager of the Giants, Tony Vitello.
I don't think it was too hard to break that news, and I guarantee that Tony Vitello was already knowing. Was there NIL money at that time? Because that's the only way you can keep.
Yeah, under their table there was. Nobody knew about it, but there sure was. The pockets are just as deep now as they were years ago. It's just if it was it's a matter of if it was legal or not. Yes. Yes. This is a big matchup right here. Brady House is 6'4". Robbie Snelling is 6'3". Snelly's 1-2 is yanked into left for a base hit. Meade is around second. He wants third. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. Boy, that is aggressive base running by Curtis Meade. That ball was spanked into left, but the play was in front of him, and Meade never broke stride, Gabby, when he hit the bag at second.
No, never broke stride, and all he was doing was looking at Sanoja as he's running. He is seeing, is Sanoja just going to play this regularly? But Sanoja did everything correct. He didn't, it's not like he stopped. It's not like he played it back or he was on his backside. He went through that baseball, made the throw. That's just great base running by Curtis Meade.
That is a very athletic first baseman. Very much looks like yourself back in the day. You can run.
That was sneaky.
That's one way to put it. So here is C.J. Abrams. And the Nationals threatening. They've got men on the corners with one away for Abrams, who's 1 for 1 tonight. He singled home a run and scored in the first and walked in the third.
And right now you see kind of where the Marlins are playing. They're going to try to cut that runner off at home. Now, if this ball is hit hard on the ground up the middle.
Just like this, and it's to Edwards, who flips it to second. Here's the throw to first. Double play. Just what the doctor ordered. A big old Sunday hop for Xavier Edwards. And the Marlins turn a 4-6-3 double play to get Robbie Snelling out of trouble here in the fifth.
Summer's here.
From day one until we had a tough conversation with them, he was nothing but the utmost professional, hard worker, great example for our young players. At the end of the day, it's a results-based game, and we're really excited about Robbie starting tonight. Robbie offers 4+ pitches, mid-90s fastball, excellent curveball, feel for pitching well beyond his years. He's somebody that we're incredibly excited about, and the way he's improved over the last 2 years, it's a testament to Robbie. It's a testament to really our pitching development group from top to bottom.
Well, it would appear as if Robbie Snelling's major league debut is in the books here tonight, Gabby. 86 total pitches, 5 innings of work. We just heard from Marlins president of baseball operations, Peter Bendix, and obviously you could tell just how excited they are about the future of that young man right there.
I thought he did a phenomenal job. There was probably a little bit of jitters early on in this ball game, especially in that first. He gave up 3, but he held his composure. He ended up going 4 more innings without giving up another run. He's giving his team a chance to win a game. That's exactly what you need to ask for. So for me, this was an outstanding start for his young career, and boy, with what he has and how he's throwing that baseball, should be a long one for him.
And Anthony Bender is loosening behind him in the bullpen. Snelling's night ends after a 4-6-3 double play ball here in the fifth. So still 3-2 Washington. Here's Esteri Ruiz. So for 1 tonight, grounded into a fielder's choice in the second, but then he proceeded for the 10th time in his career to steal second and third in the same inning. Here's a look at Anthony Bender loosening.
I was talking with Pedro Guerrero today about facing a guy like Foster Griffin. I was like, what do you do, or what are you telling the guys with a guy who has 7 pitches and, you know, he can control the outside, he can control the inside. And basically it was like, hey, look, we know that he's going to try to bully everybody in, and we've seen it a whole bunch with Griffin on the mound. A lot of pitches that are coming in, especially that cutter, and not only that, that 4-seam fastball that he throws that he likes to throw in, it has natural cut. And he said these guys are just going to have to learn how to get to those inside pitches.
And he strikes out Ruiz, and there's one away.
And that was his big thing. You can work with guys in the cage. You can work with guys on the field. You can do everything right. It's showing them, hey, this is what we need to do. We got to attack that inside. But until they do it on their own, it's going to be tough. So it's just going to be that mindset of, okay, what do I need to do? All right, I know that he's going to bully me in. You know what? Every once in a while, go ahead, cheat for it. Cheat in there. Get that bat head in that zone.
Nobody on and one out, and we'll go back to the top of the order now. Xavier Edwards 1 for 1 tonight. Hit his first ever home run in the major leagues off a lefty back in the first. It's also his third career leadoff home run. 2 strikeouts, or I beg your pardon, 4 now for Griffin. Foster Griffin with the 4 strikeouts, 1 on the fastball, 1 on the sweeper. The last 2 have come on that cutter. This is game 1 of a 3-game weekend series between the Marlins and the Nationals. First 2 games on Marlins.tv. Sunday's affair will be on Peacock as Edwards is down on strikes. And back-to-back strikeouts for Foster Griffin and his 3rd consecutive strikeout on that cutter. Let's get you a quick word from Werner Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia.
Winning doesn't just happen by accident. At WHG, we know every case is earned before you ever step inside the courtroom. WHG, preparation wins.
2 out. Here's Otto Lopez, who doubled and scored in inning number 1. A double in the first extended Lopez's hitting streak to 11 games. That batting average sitting at .342 for Otto, who waits on a 1-0. That cutter misses high. 2 balls and no strikes on Lopez with Kyle Stowers on deck. This is a Marlins offense that came into the night ranked 9th in baseball, batting .248, 27th in homers, 18th in doubles, 2nd in triples, 2nd in stolen bases. As Otto takes a strike. 20th in walks. The Marlins are very big on plate discipline, but that doesn't necessarily mean drawing walks. They would like to draw more, but more so what they mean by that is, hey, we're looking for our pitches to hit. We're not trying to expand the strike zone and help out the pitcher. That is a bouncer up the middle into center field. Another multi-hit night at the plate for Otto Lopez.
Well, he is in fuego the way that he's been hitting the baseball. It started off the game with a double to left field. That one does a really nice job of just staying inside that baseball and driving it. We talked about, right, you're either going to look out over the plate or you're going to look in. If you're looking out, you want to stay inside. But look at the way he gets those hands through the zone, head over barrel, backside coming through. That's the power position. That's how he's able to drive that through the infield.
15th multi-hit game of the season for Otto Lopez. The tying run is at first with 2 outs as Kyle Stowers swings and misses at that cutter. Stowers reached in the first on that 2-base error by Curtis Mead. And then he was a victim of Foster Griffin's sweeper in the 3rd. Quick snap throw over to first. Foster Griffin, that is not his name. His first name is Fred. He is a junior, but he goes by his middle name Foster, but his full name is Fred Foster Griffin. I love the name.
Yeah.
There are not, not as many Freds around anymore as I'd like. All of the Freds are leaving us far too soon, Gabby. It's not a popular name anymore.
No, Fred.
You know any Freds?
1.
Yeah.
That's it.
Here's a fly ball to deep right field, down the line, foul. Didn't have enough. He was out in front of that sweeper. And Stowers nearly hooked it into that right field corner and kept it fair.
I got a good pitch to hit, too, on that sweeper. Just a little bit out in front. I think he hit it off the end of the bat as well. But he did stay through the zone very long.
You could tell for about a half second he thought he might have gotten enough of it.
I think he got it just off the end of that. And is he using? He is. He's using the torpedo bat, too.
We don't talk about that torpedo bat much anymore. Griffin fires the 0-2, and he struck him out for the second time tonight. 2-out single. That's all for the Marlins here in the fifth. Still 3-2 Washington.
And a blue moon.
Welcome back. It's time now for our Ocean Bank Making Waves minor league report. Guys, earlier today, the Miami Marlins announced the April recipients of the organization's Next Wave Awards. It recognizes the top performers across the minor league affiliates who perform. Performance reflects the club's core player development priorities. As you can see there, those are all the honorees. For April, the Marlins Next Waves recognizes the performance, guys, aligned with the organization's evaluation and development model with an emphasis on the skills that support sustainable major league success. I'd like to point out Nate Payne, pitcher of the month. He struck out 42% of the batters that he faced, walked to just 9%. So numbers that they're really liking.
Well, keep an eye on the 22-year-old outfielder on that list, Dylan Lewis. He is playing for the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. He is the number 11 prospect in the Marlins organization. And he was acquired by the Marlins from the Yankees in January as a part of that multiplayer deal for Ryan Weathers. They are really high. So too am I. Not that that matters, but they're really high on Dylan Lewis. He's got a chance to be really good. Jacob Young batting fifth for the Nationals tonight, leads off the sixth inning. And here's a bouncer over the head of Anthony Bender. Going to be a tough play, and Edwards got him. Couple of pitches and one out for Anthony Bender, who's pitching for the first time since Tuesday. That was against the Baltimore Orioles, game one. He's thrown just 24 pitches, and he's worked twice since last Saturday, so he is well rested as he makes his 17th appearance of the season for Miami, pitching with that .461 ERA. But the more and more that he fires scoreless frames, the more and more that ERA is going to respectably tick down for him, and he'll get more and more happy. It's very hard for relievers early in the season. A couple of blow-ups, you got to work months on end to get that thing back where you want.
It's the worst thing for a reliever because you just have one bad game early on, and it seems like it takes you 20 games to just get one tick of ERA off of it. But with what Bender has, the sinker, slider, sweeper mix that he's able to utilize, the tunneling process of those two pitches, I've always said it. I believe that he can be a closer in the big leagues with what he has stuff-wise.
Well, he has 15 career saves, and he has one this year. He's behind in the count. 2 balls and a strike on Dalen Lyle, who's 0 for 2 tonight for the Nationals. Left-handed hitting left fielder in his second major league season, hooks that one foul. He was a heck of a player in high school. He was the 2021 National High School Player of the Year. As a senior in high school, Dalen Lyle, he hit .550 with 18 home runs, and he led his ball club to its first ever state championship. And for his success, the Nationals took him in the second round, 47th overall in 2021, as he flies out to Sonoha, and there's 2 out. Major League Baseball is partnering with Crisis Text Line to increase mental health awareness. Free 24/7 confidential support in English and Spanish. Text MLB to 741-741. So quickly, 2 out for Bender here in the sixth. Lyle's 0 for 3, and here is Joey Wiemer, who's 0 for 1. He drew a leadoff walk in the second. That did not come back to hurt Robbie Snelling, who in his major league debut tonight works 5 innings and allows 3 runs all earned on 5 hits, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts for Snelling, who after the shaky first inning really settled down over his final 4. In his final 4 innings of work tonight, Snelling allowed just 1 hit. And Joey Wiemer not happy. Him and Charlie Ramos are going back and forth. And he's still barking at him. And Charlie said, "You better get in the batter's box, young man." You can tell by the way that Weimer is standing, he's just not happy. As he waits on an 0-2. Missed outside.
See, there's a difference when I played to now. Because if you did that to an umpire back when I was playing, there was no ABS. No. The next pitch, you better be swinging. Because if it was close, you were getting rung up.
1-2. Struck him out. Sweeper at the knees, and the side is retired. It's a perfect 6th inning for Bender.
Narrative.
Ground ball the second off the bat of Christopher Morel to begin the bottom of the 6th, and quickly 1 out for Foster Griffin, who was allowed just 2 hits since he allowed a pair in the first.
Marlins are being really aggressive too early on in counts. And it's something that they're told, listen, we don't want you to just go up there and walk. We want you to have good at-bats. But if you get the pitch that you're looking for, we want you to go ahead and swing.
Real good curveball there on Connor Norby, who's 0 for 2. So 5 1/3 in the books here for Foster Griffin. He's allowed a pair of runs, but just 1 earned. 4 hits, a walk, 6 strikeouts. And he's quickly ahead of Connor Norby, no balls and 2 strikes. Curveball and a changeup here to Connor. Brad Lord, the right-hander, is loosening in the bullpen for Washington. Meanwhile, you've got double-barreled action in the bullpen currently for Miami. Griffin has thrown 83 pitches in this ball game as he readies with number 84. Just works out of the stretch, just does his thing, and he strikes out Norby.
That's just good old fastball, top of the zone. Norby just laid on it. There's nothing else to it. Norby got a good pitch to hit. Maybe expecting a cutter or something else coming in. This is just a good old 4-seam fastball, top of the zone at 92 miles an hour.
And quickly 2 out for Griffin. And here's Javier Sinoja, who's now 3 for his last 25 at the plate. Or make it 3 for 24. You see the double-barreled action there for Miami. Got the lefty King and the right-hander Peterson. We have not seen John King in a long time. Sinoja has twice grounded out in this game, once the third, once the short.
If I would have to guess, it would be Peterson that would be coming in.
Yeah, we'll see.
But no, actually, King, switch.
2 switch hitters and a lefty duo.
Yeah.
Sinoja waits on a 2-0. Boy, Foster Griffin has done a terrific job of settling down in this game after he allowed the leadoff homer in the first, followed by the Lopez double, who scored on the 2-base E3 by Meade. Since then, he's allowed just 2 hits, and he's walked 1. There's strike 1 on Javi Sinoja. Well, coming into this game, Griffin was streaking too. He had not allowed an earned run in his last 14 innings of work. He has allowed 1 earned run tonight, but that's all. 2 in total, 1 earned as the 3-1. There's a fly ball in the air to right, sending Weimer back onto the warning track, and he's spinning at the wall in a little leap, and he's got it. Another perfect inning for Foster Griffin. We'll go to the 7th, still 3-2 Nationals. 7th inning, Washington still leading Miami 3-2. Scoreboard brought to you by Werner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia. Make sure you host your next event with the Marlins. Come out to the ballpark with a group of friends, family members, or colleagues. Book your outing today for the best game savings and group benefits. You can learn more at marlins.com/groups. Nice group out here at the ballpark tonight. And here comes John King on in relief of Anthony Bender, who worked a very tidy top of the 6th. King making his 18th appearance of the season. What a pickup and deal this was for Peter Bendix. King is pitching to a .57 ERA, and he's pitching for the first time since Monday, when he needed 10 pitches to work an inning against the Philadelphia Phillies in the last of 4 of that wraparound series. 1 ball, no strikes. The count on Nasim Nunez, who has twice tried to bunt here tonight. He was left unprotected in the Rule 5 draft by the Marlins a few years ago. Nationals scooped him up, kept him on their roster for the entirety of the 2024 season. He very rarely played. He collected, what, $750,000 in 2024. Barely played, stayed on the roster all year. He has now turned himself into the everyday second baseman for the Nationals. And from what I understand, and at least from the Nationals people that I've talked to, should they deal C.J. Abrams, Nasim Nunez is #1 going to shortstop, but they feel like if he just hits .230 the rest of his career with his skill set defensively and his ability to steal, he is an absolute weapon that's going to have a very nice major league career.
I mean, yeah, I mean, his glove is going to play, and that's why they say he can hit .230. Hit .230 and play that style of defense that he's able to play. You're going to win a lot of ball games.
Well, he leads the major leagues in stolen bases with 14. King is really tough to run on. He's also quick to the plate. There's your stolen base leaders. Jose Ramirez has swiped one tonight, so he's now tied with Nunez. This might be our first real opportunity to see the arm of Joe Mack behind the dish. King will check in on Nunez. Boy, Christopher Morel has to be very careful. He's playing far enough off the first base bag that if he doesn't make an effort to apply a tag on Nunez, James Jean, the first base umpire, could call a balk on him.
I mean, he is very far off, but you can see him kind of moving back.
And there goes Nunez. Here's the throw by Mack down to second. And it's not in time. Boy, it was a heck of a throw by Joe. His pop time is elite. The Marlins had no business with that even being close at second.
I mean, it was a great jump. Nothing that you can do here if you're Mack. You got rid of it as quick as humanly possible over to second, and you threw a strike. Edwards even kind of looked and said, hey, let's take a look, because hand might have came off the base.
Yeah, what's the problem now? We have a loose ball on the warning track in left that Javi Sanoja runs down.
I need to see what that pop time was, because, boy, he got rid of that thing quick.
Everything about that play was major league level. The stolen base #1 by Nunez, because he can absolutely fly. And then even Mack to give the Marlins the slightest of chances.
That was a 1.83.
That's ridiculous.
That is elite.
Yeah, it is. And he's going to be elite as the franchise catcher for this organization for a long time. That is ripped and a diving grab. Leo Jimenez sells out to his left to Rob Ruiz.
Oh, what a nice play. Cat-like reflexes at third base. Fully extended by Jimenez to make that play.
That was the scouting report on Jimenez coming over from Toronto. Also an elite glove. It's okay to smile.
I mean, that right there, you talk about saving runs, that's what that did. That saved a run. That ball gets by, and that's an easy score.
Here is James Wood. You have to be really careful, too, with Nunez at second. He obviously... He's got the outright lead now in baseball with 15 stolen bases. He is not scared to try to steal third.
Even though there's an open door where there's nobody covering because it's the left-handed hitter, not a right-handed hitter, if he gets a good enough jump, you're not going to be able to get him.
Now, the degree of difficulty is going to rise for the Marlins should he try to steal, because Leo Jimenez is a third of the way down to second. So he is going to have to be on a dead sprint along with Nunez, get himself in position at the third base bag if he should try to steal here and then try to appropriately swipe a tag. That is very tough for a third baseman to move that way.
It is tough, and you have to vacate quickly, right? So you're basically, as you're playing third base at this point, your head is on a swivel.
Look how far he is off the bag.
Yeah, he's far off, and your head's going to be on a swivel, and you're constantly looking at Nunez to see, okay, is
there he goes. He's on the move. Throw to third. Not in time. Man, oh man. Can he fly? Woo. Did you see even there for Jimenez how tough that was?
Yeah. I mean, Leo Jimenez, there's nothing that he could have done. He did everything perfect. It's exactly what we talked about. Vacate quickly. Get yourself over to third.
Gabby, we also have a Nationals challenge here, and it was a strike called.
Wow.
So there's the play at third.
He's going to be safe.
He's safe there. The Nationals did challenge. James Wood thought it was a ball. It was a strike. So the Nationals are now out of challenges in this game. But Nunez did steal third. The infield is in for Miami here in the 7th. Trailing by a run.
Got to throw that breaking ball here down. Ooh,
and he got it down just enough.
Went with the fastball there. We talked about the fastball with James Wood. Now, James Wood hasn't seen any fastballs really today. He was getting a lot of changeups and curveballs with Robbie Snelling on the mound.
Nobody hits the ball harder in baseball than James Wood, who waits on a 1-2.
There it is.
Check swing. Did he go? No. Ooh. It was close. It's the third base umpire, Nestor Ceja, that said Wood did not go. You be the judge.
Ooh.
As close as it gets.
That's one where, I mean, I looked like he looked like he kind of broke his wrist, but you got to be a strong man.
Got him anyway on a curveball.
That's the pitch that I wanted about 2 pitches ago, maybe a little bit down. You would have gotten him to chase. It's what they've been doing all day to him. And when you look at the numbers will tell you, don't throw him a fastball because he's going to be ready to hit it. You got to be able to beat him with the breaking ball and throw it for a strike.
Here comes Clayton McCullough. He's going to go to his right-hander in the bullpen. A pitching change and a call to the bullpen. Tyler Phillips is the one coming in when we return. Make sure you join us for Cuban Heritage Celebration presented by Cuba Vera on Saturday, May 23rd at 4:10, where the Marlins take on the Mets and take home a Sugar Kings jersey with your ticket package. Get your tickets at marlins.com/Cuba. Pitching for the first time since Sunday when he threw 47 pitches against the Phillies is Tyler Phillips. On trying to get a crucial out here in the 7th. He is facing Curtis Mead, and Phillips, who hasn't pitched since last Sunday, told me earlier today he feels good. He feels so good that he had a t-shirt on in batting practice that simply read "Arm feels good." So Tyler Phillips is ready to go.
It's a great t-shirt for a pitcher. And it lets your coach know and your manager know, hey, arm feels good.
That's right.
Let me get out there.
In case there were any questions.
And it worked.
It worked.
He's out there.
His plea for the baseball has paid off.
It's a big-time situation, too. Marlins cannot allow another one to come in.
Good splitter hit the outside corner on Mead. Remember, the Nationals have used both of their challenges, so they are without for the remainder of this game. Phillips ready with a 2-1. Ouch. That caught the right knee of Joe Mack. Here's a remarkable note for you, Gabby. If you'd like it, you just tell me if you don't. The Nationals, including their Expos seasons, have never played a game in which they and their opponent both scored multiple runs in the first inning, but then 0 the rest of the game. The Marlins have only had it once. In 2014 versus Arizona, they lost 3-2. Both teams score multiple runs in the first. Nobody scores again. It's only ever happened once in Marlins history.
So, and you're counting, that counts the Nationals and the Expos?
And the Expos.
And they've
never had a game in which they and their opponent scored multiple runs in the first and nobody scored again. Isn't that bizarre?
That is bizarre. And I did like it.
2-2. Missed outside.
I was hoping I didn't so I could say no, but I like that one.
Looks like Foster Griffin's night's going to be over. It's 6 innings, 2 runs. He was earned 4 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Brad Lord continues to loosen. Meanwhile, Phillips needs a huge strike right here. And a big out, 3-2. A yanked foul, and down there at third base, Nasim Nunez hit the deck. Third base coach is Victor Estevez for the Nationals. He too is jumping out of the way. This will be pitch number 7 to Mead, who's 1 for 2 tonight. ball 4. So Meade draws a walk, and here comes Brady House. Now this is a very interesting situation, and I'll tell you why. Meade's a little unconventional as a first baseman because he can really run.
Yeah.
You have nothing but speed at third. Should Meade take off, my suspicion is they want Joe Mack, because of his pop time and arm strength, they want him to throw through. I would imagine you've got to tell him to throw through if he tries to take off, as Brady House bounces one foul.
The thing that you have to be careful, though, if you are Joe Mack, is that when you come up, you have to be able to peek at third. And that's what they teach catchers. As you're coming up to throw, you're peeking at third to make sure, because if you see him starting to come, you could shut it down and go to third.
Bouncing ball to third. Jimenez has got it. Short way down to second. They get the out there. Nationals leave him on the corners here in the 7th. Stretch time. Still 3-2 Washington.
Summer's here.
In Miami, I'm Craig Mish watching the Nationals and the Marlins play toe-to-toe tonight. Close game. It's the debut of Robbie Snelling, and it was a good one. Snelling threw 5 innings tonight, started off the game by striking out James Wood in his first ever matchup, and there it is, the strikeout for Snelling, and of course they'll authenticate that ball and give it to Robbie, and he'll keep it forever. He was effective tonight. In fact, he didn't give up a hit in the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th, and showed some good athleticism also on a bunt from Nasi Nunez. Got him right here, as you can see, at first base. We'll see if the Marlins can get something going here in the late innings, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Craig Mish and Rod Allen will join you on the post-game show coming up shortly, hopefully after a Marlins victory, if they can come from behind. If they do, they would be poised for their 7th comeback win of the year. Meanwhile, Foster Griffin has stayed in this game for Washington. He is facing Joe Mack to lead off the bottom of the 7th. This could be it, though, for Griffin. With the right-hander Lord loosening, you do have 2 right-handed hitters on deck. That's bounce foul. But then if the Nationals go to the bullpen for Lord, then you'd probably start to see any combination of Casey, Hicks, and Marcy start to come off the bench, with Jimenez playing third and Ruiz playing center. And that is all part of the calculus right now for the Washington Nationals. In their first-year manager, Blake Butera, this is scalded out to center, but of course Jacob Young runs it down, and there's one away. Let's see if Blake Butera wants to make a move, or does he want to leave Griffin in? Looks like he's going to leave him in. You can understand, because his thought process here is, why do I want to go get a righty and bring up a couple of hitters and say Hicks and Marcy to the plate who could tie it? Instead, you probably want to take your chances with Jimenez and Ruiz.
Yeah, you wait until the top of the lineup in that situation. I think it's the right call, especially you know that Foster Griffin is a guy that can go deep into games. He can throw over 100 pitches. You're not worried about him. Really, he hasn't had any, that many stressful innings.
Now, Butera has also gone to his bullpen a lot this year. Nobody has thrown more innings in baseball than the Nationals bullpen. That ranks 23rd in the game with a 4.62 ERA. They've allowed the 2nd most runs with over 100. And there's strike 3 called on Leo Jimenez.
Ooh, I thought Leo Jimenez was going to tap his helmet, and I think he would have been correct. I thought that ball was off the plate away.
That is the 8th strikeout of the ball game.
I thought this ball was off the corner away, and yeah, you can see Ruiz get that ball and bring it back into the strike zone, but Jimenez doesn't want to go ahead and take the challenge. They're only down to 1.
It's a career high tying 8 strikeouts for Foster Griffin, who also punched out 8 on April 26th in Chicago on the south side against the White Sox. It was the same day that he also worked a career high in terms of innings pitched as well, with 7. So he has tied his career high in strikeouts, and he's on the verge, needing just 1 more out to tie his career high in innings pitched in a start. As he comes home with a 1-1 to Esteury Ruiz, who waves and misses at that changeup, and it's quickly 1-2. Marlins don't have a hit since the 5th. They have just 2 since the 1-out single by Jimenez in the 2nd. And Foster Griffin is living up to the billing here tonight.
He's a pitcher. I mean, that's exactly what it is. He's not overpowering. It's not a guy that's throwing 96, 97 miles an hour, but he works both sides of the plate. He can also go up and down.
And he foul tips that into the mid of Ruiz. A perfect 7th for Foster Griffin. Still 3-2 as we go to the 8th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Miami Marlins, and it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins. It's downtown Miami on a Friday night. Washington got 3 in the first. The Marlins got 2 in the first. Nobody has gotten anything since. Tyler Phillips got the last out of the 7th. He'll stay out there for the 8th. And he is set to face C.J. Abrams, Jacob Young, and Dalen Lyle. C.J. Abrams was also a part of that blockbuster deal involving Juan Soto and James Wood and others years ago. I think you could say the now departed Mike Rizzo and the former general manager for the Nationals made out like a bandit in that deal. Did Abrams go around? He did. And on 3 pitches, Tyler Phillips has his first strikeout of the night.
It's a really nice pitch by Tyler Phillips, and he just kept going after C.J. Abrams with the breaking ball. Gets C.J. Abrams to check his swing, gets the punch out.
Ground ball up the middle. Otto's got it to his left. 2 quick out here in the 8th. Speaking of the front office situation for the Nationals, if you aren't caught up to speed on what transpired this winter, the current general manager of Washington is Ani Kilambi, who was hired in December. He's 31 years old. He's the youngest general manager in Major League Baseball. He serves as the 2nd in command under Paul Taboni, who's the team's president of baseball operations. But this is the first time in over a decade that the club separated the president of baseball operations role and the general manager's roles, which were previously both held by Mike Rizzo. But the Nationals felt like a changing of the guard was needed. So what do? They hire a 31-year-old general manager. As Dalen Lyle carves this into left and down in front of Javier Sinoja for a base hit. What were you doing at 31? You were playing, I guess, right?
I was playing. I was in baseball, just on the field.
And I'm not sure. I should have asked Peter Bendix earlier today, but Kilambi at 31 years old, he was formerly of the Phillies and the Rays. He was brought in specifically for his expertise in research development and advanced analytics, which is, obviously what many are doing in baseball these days. I don't know if there was any overlap between he and Peter. There could have been. I should have asked.
Well, we can find out.
We could find out.
Don't you have him on speed dial?
I do now. And if I did, who could blame him if he didn't answer?
He would answer.
There's Joey Wiemer, who's 0 for 2 tonight. And again, since his scorching hot start in Washington, he has really cooled off. 0 for 2 tonight, and he came into this contest batting $195 over his last 20 games. It's kind of more, unfortunately, like the guy that we saw last year when the Marlins took a flyer on Wiemer. Nationals, a ball club that they have invested in the Traject machine that the Marlins invested in last year. That new regime executed a couple of big moves, including trading their star starting pitcher Mackenzie Gore to the Rangers. Check swing, and he went around. And it's 2-2 now on Wiemer.
That's what got him hot under the collar his last at-bat. The check swing, they didn't check over. But yeah, he definitely went.
Two swung on it, missed. Strike 3. Curveball in the dirt, blocked by Joe Mack. Fires it to first to retire the side. Still 3-2 Washington as we go to the last of the 8th.
Barbie Game Day returns.
That is flown in the air deep to left field, and how about this? Jacob Young has done it again. This is flown in the air to deep left field. Lyle's going back onto the warning track. He's at the wall, looking up, and it's gone. And he shows another bunt. He pushes another. Going to be a tough play for Robbie Snelling, who fires it to first and got him. What a play. What an athletic play by Robbie Snelling to get Nunez. Wow. All right, quite the ball game we got going here tonight, folks. Bottom 8, 3-2 Washington. Foster Griffin, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 4 hits. Snelling made his major league debut, went 5 and allowed 3 on 5 hits. Here's Xavier Edwards to lead off the bottom of the 8th. Unfortunately for the Marlins, they are no longer facing Foster Griffin. This is the recently turned 26-year-old out of Tallahassee. And the Nationals' 18th round pick in 2022, Brad Lord, on to make his 12th appearance of the year.
Brad Lord on the mound. Ground ball machine. About 60% of the balls off the bat are on the ground. It's a 4-seam slider, sinker, changeup, sweeper mix. Now he's mostly going to be 4-seam fastball, slider, and sinker. He likes to throw the ball into righties, away to lefties.
Lord made 48 appearances, including 19 starts for Washington last year. Worked to a 4.34 ERA as Edwards bounces this to Abrams. Off balance throw to first, got him by a whisker. Good body control over there around the bag for Curtis Mead. 1 up and 1 down for Lord. So Foster Griffin tonight became the first Washington Nationals starting pitcher to allow 2 extra base hits to the first 2 batters of the game, but then nothing the rest of the way since Jordan Zimmerman on August 23rd of 2014 against the San Francisco Giants. Just what the doctor ordered for the Nationals. You know, they gave Foster Griffin, Miles Michaelis, and Zach Littell, who we'll see tomorrow, right? Littell's tomorrow? Yeah, and then Cade Cavalli will go Sunday. But they gave those 3 a little over like $11 million combined to stabilize this rotation. You know, Foster Griffin did his part tonight. There's Miles Michaelis, the Jupiter native. He's starting to settle into that Washington Nationals cap. We saw him for so many years with the Cardinals as Otto Lopez takes ball 2. Otto tonight is 2 for 3. He has his 15th multi-hit game of the year, and he's now hitting 11 in a row. But the Marlins offense has gone ice cold since the first. That's popped foul, and it's 2-2 on Otto. What is this Nationals pitching staff doing so well tonight, Gabby?
Well, I mean, it's really one guy, and then all of a sudden Lord is coming in now. But for me, Foster Griffin, what he did was the way that he was able to add and subtract. He was able to hit the corners, and not only that, just move the ball around to all 4 quadrants, not just stick to 1 or 2. Where I'm going to be interested to see is where the moves are going to be starting to make, because you would have to think that Hicks is going to come in to at least get an at-bat. You would have to think that Marcy's going to come in to at least get an at-bat. So at some point, we should be seeing them come in to make an impact.
That's a liner through the other way and a base hit. Right through the vacated right side of the infield. It's a 3-hit night for Otto Lopez. It doesn't matter where they pitch him, he finds a way on base.
Man, this is a good sinker too, and just stays right on it. Tries to get him with the backdoor sinker, stays on it, drives it the opposite way. But again, short, quick, compact, level swing through the zone. Where are the eyes? Where are the head? Everything right on top of the barrel as he drives it.
So 15 multi-hit games this season for Otto Lopez. That was his 5th 3-hit game. Here's Kyle Snowers, who you know is desperately trying to do everything he can right now to deliver in a huge situation for Miami. He's 0 for 3 tonight. And he's seen his batting average fall 10 points this evening. Just got underneath that fastball.
The thing too, when you kind of look at Stowers, and I know that he's already starting to get those at-bats, but when you have that long break, the spring training, that's where you get your rhythm going. It's going to take some time for him to get that rhythm back. He started off okay when he came up, and pitchers start to make adjustments, but you can still see he's just a tick off right now. But that tick off, all of a sudden, once he gets on, he's going to be doing what we saw last season.
He is hitting 4 of 6. He's trying to make it 5 of 7 as he waits on a 1-1 from the right-hander Lord here in the 8th, who checks in on Otto Lopez, who has 5 stolen bases this season. Curtis Mead keeping a close eye on Otto over there at first. Still a ball and a strike that count on Stowers with Christopher Morel on deck. And that could be a spot for Liam Hicks, and it looks like it will be.
Yeah.
You know, every manager is tasked with that decision, and every manager would also tell you at the end of a ball game, especially if you lose it, you don't want to leave a couple of your best bats lingering. You know, they could get a night off, but you'd like to see them swing it a little bit. Yeah. Just give you a chance. And Stowers swings through that 1-1 sinker.
And you talk about it, right? It's not that it's a night off, because you're the best players on the team, you're the best hitters on the team. You're not getting a night off unless all of a sudden the game is just out of hand on one way or the other. If it's going to be a close game, you might get 6-7 innings off, but you're going to get in there at some point.
There goes Lopez. The pitch is outside. Good pitch to throw on, and the throw to second got him. And Otto Lopez is saying that C.J. Abrams was impeding my path to the bag. Thought it was pretty clear, Gabby, that he was out, and the Marlins will not challenge it.
I mean, he was just stepping in.
Okay.
I didn't see it. To me, Lopez didn't get a great jump, and if you don't get a great jump as a base runner, you don't have to steal. You can put the brakes on and get yourself back, especially if you realize, you know what, that was not the best jump.
So a caught stealing, there's 2 out, and the count's 2-2, and the inning is over. That happened fast. We'll go to the 9th, still 3-2.
I'm Jay.
On Friday, May 22nd at 7:10, when the Marlins take on the Mets and take home an exclusive Naruto jersey with ticket package. Get your tickets at marlins.com/Naruto. It's a nice crowd out there at the Bullpen Bar and Grill on this Friday night here at Lone Depot Park. Thank you for joining us. We thank them for joining us. Here's Tyler Phillips. Came on in the 7th, got the final out, worked the scoreless 8th. Here he is in the 9th of a 3-2 game. And worth reminding you, the Marlins have only ever played one other game in franchise history in which they and their opponent scored multiple runs in the first and did not score the rest of the way. The Nationals have never played such game as Nasim Nunez flies out to Ruiz in center for the first out of the 9th.
And we're hoping that the Nationals stay that way.
We are indeed. Our next broadcast comes your way tomorrow afternoon. Live coverage will begin at 3:45. Zach Littell goes opposite of Jansen Junk. Well, if the Marlins are going to win this one tonight, we have some more drama in store for us. And Luis Garcia Jr. is going to pinch hit for Keibert Ruiz. So that should summon Drew Milas, their backup catcher, into the game at the bottom of the 9th. If it doesn't summon him into the game, we're really going to have some exciting stuff going on.
Just get on and start stealing.
Right?
Real quick.
Right, yeah. Luis Garcia Jr. will always be a part of Major League history. This is a lazy line drive to center, and Ruiz has got it. Luis Garcia Jr., that history I was talking about, on August 17th of 2020, he became the first player born in the 2000s to hit a homer in the big leagues. We're getting older, they're getting younger.
I remember the 2000s.
Yeah. So quickly 2 out, and here's James Wood, who the Marlins have kept very quiet tonight, which is a good thing. So again, nobody hits the ball harder in baseball than James Wood, which is evidenced by his exit velocity average.
one of 3 players with 116-mile or plus ball hit off the bat so far this season.
But he is a 3 true outcome guy. He leads the major leagues in strikeouts. Leads the National League in walks as he yanks that to first, right into the leather of Christopher Morel. All right, baby, let's see if the Marlins have a comeback in them here this evening.
Summer's here.
Here's a look at your starting pitching matchup tomorrow afternoon at 4:10 here on Marlins.tv. Littell opposite of Junk, who will make his 8th start of the season for the Marlins. He's got 2 wins and 3 losses. Littell has a 7.24 ERA for the Nationals. Jensen Junk 27 strikeouts to 8 walks this season. That's your Game 2 matchup tomorrow. Meanwhile, here in Game 1 tonight, we go to the home half of the 9th where the Marlins trail the Nationals 3-2. There's Jansen. The Marlins got 2 runs on 2 hits in the first. The Nationals got 3 runs on 3 hits in the first. And there has been very little in the way of offense after that. Here tonight, Brad Lord is bidding for his first career major league save. He obviously, with his starting pedigree, has multiple appearances in his career in excess of 1 inning. Liam Hicks is challenging this ball call. The Nationals dugout is not happy, and that's a strike. So the Nationals dugout was barking, and I think they were not happy because they thought that Liam Hicks took too much time to challenge.
He did it right away. I don't know why they would think he took too much time.
Blake Butera was not happy about something. But anyway, Brad Lord is bidding for his first career major league save. And his 0-1 pitch to Liam Hicks is flown down the left field line foul. I was chatting with Miami Marlins director of hitting Joe Migliaccio earlier this afternoon. Don't need to get into all the details, but I asked him specifically what has made Liam Hicks so good. I said, how's he just pulling the ball? He said, you want to know what's amazing? Liam Hicks is letting the ball travel deeper into the plate while pulling the baseball. So he's letting the ball travel further, but he's pulling the ball as he pops 96 in the air to center for Young. But it had everything to do where when he was swinging, where the barrel of the bat was when he was making contact. It was I thought it was very interesting. It really did. And maybe we could show all that to you at some point. Now that's a guy I have on speed dial, Gabby.
Oh, that's the one.
I'm trying to get up to the president's chair, but
you got to start.
Got to start with the directors. That's exactly.
Got to work your way up. I get it.
P.J. Poulin, the lefty, is loosening for Washington, and Jacob Marcy is going to pinch hit for Connor Norby. So that will leave Casey and Hernandez on the bench for the Marlins. Drew Mealis, by the way, did replace Luis Garcia Jr. batting 9th, and he is catching. So it is Mealis back there behind the plate. Well, Jacob Marcy is really going through it this season, but this is an opportunity to really get out of it. With the Marlins trailing by a run here in the 9th, he waits on the first offering, and a sweeper is over at the knees for a strike. Marcy is batting $176 with 10 RBIs and 10 stolen bases and just 1 home run. This will be an ideal time for number 2 as Lord kicks and fires. That fastball is lined foul. It's quickly 0-2 on Marcy with Javier Sanoja on deck.
Yeah, I got to talk to Marcy today too, and one of the biggest things he told me was one of the things that he was feeling is posture. And his last game, he actually felt like his posture got into the right spot. He hit a line drive to left center field, and that's when he realized, like, okay, that's me right there.
Oh-2. Hit foul. I was telling you about, Nationals Marlins playing a game. Both teams score multiple runs in the first, nothing since. Should that hold here in the 9th, it'll be just the 21st such game in the modern era.
Oh, wow.
Since 1901, where both teams score multiple runs in the first and neither team scores another run after that. Just a remarkable note as Marcy cues that foul.
And you also said that the last time that it happened to the Marlins, the score ended up 3-2.
It was also the last National League contest was the game played by the Marlins against the Diamondbacks in August of 2014. Another 0-2 coming. He got a pitch to hit there, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did. Right now he's in battle mode, so he's going to let that ball get a little bit deeper. That way he could still stay on the breaking pitches. So the fastball he's going to be a tick late on, which is why you're seeing a lot of these fastballs going to that left side of the field. But that's the only way that you're now able to just stick on and stay on those secondary pitches.
Good eye. Another thing they're working on with Marcy right now, his bat path is very flat this year. If you look, they're trying to get a little bit more tilt on that bat path. Try to prevent a lot of these pop-ups. 1-2. Just outside.
I think a lot had to do with the pop-ups was him just being late.
I think so.
And when you are a hitter and you're late, you're getting that foot down late, you're going to speed up. And the way that you speed up is actually trying to get your hands through the zone, and you'll have those little pop-ups. I feel like once he gets himself into the right spot, he'll be just fine.
2-2 is swung on and missed. Boy, Marcy got all those sinkers running away from him, Gabby. And then Lord finally had the gumption to throw that sweeper.
I mean, it was a good
sweeper.
Yeah, it was a good sweeper. He's going to get a lot of spin with that knuckle. It starts middle and how much it breaks. And for Marcy, having to fight all these pitches off, knowing that I'm going to probably get that secondary, that sweeper at some point. He saw it out of hand. That ball just kept diving down underneath his hands.
Yeah, and here is Javier Sanoja, who is the last remaining hope for the Marlins here tonight. Marlins have scored 2 runs on 5 hits. The Nationals have scored 3 runs on 6 hits. With a win, the Nationals will be back to within a game of 500. And it's quickly 0-2 on Javier Sanoja, who is 0 for 3 at the plate tonight. That is going to find the seats. Now, Foster Griffin, great for the Nationals this evening. Marlins are going to have some heavy lifting to do this weekend if they want to win this series. If they don't come back here, down a run in the 9th with nobody on and 2 out and a 0-2 count. And here is another 0-2. I think Blake Butera will be happy with the way this is going for Washington. He's had to run his bullpen into the ground, but he's got a chance to do this thing tonight with just Griffin and Lord, as Lord is in search of his first major league save. And he might just have it. Abrams the first. Oh, not on target. Sanoja is at first with 2 outs, and the winning run will come to the plate. Terrible throw by C.J. Abrams, who's going to be hung with his 6th error of the season.
Yeah, Abrams did everything right on that play, too. He came in, he fielded it with one hand. That ball just got away from him. Now Sanoja is going to be at first base, and we've seen what he can do in big situations where he can go ahead and take second base.
The batter was scheduled to be Joe Mack. Blake Butera is going to go get P.J. Poulin. We'll see if we see Heriberto Hernandez pinch hit for Joe Mack when we return. Call to the bullpen here at Lone Depot Park. Things getting interesting. Righties are hitting .263 against Poulin. Lefties hitting just a .167, and that's going to play a huge factor into the decision. Even though Hernandez doesn't hit lefties well, he probably gives you a better chance than Joe, as that is clipped foul by Heriberto, and it's 1-1. Poulin has 1 career save. He does not have one this year. Clayton McCullough pulling every string that he can here in the 9th. Poulin's only save last September against the Mets. That one stands up Heriberto, who just came back from AAA Jacksonville. So the only remaining Marlin on the bench now is Owen Casey. And Hernandez was your only righty available this evening, with everybody else in the starting lineup. Two-one with Sanoha at first. This is up and in, ball 3.
All right, now if you're Hernandez, you're looking for one pitch. You're looking for that fastball. You're looking for it to be out over the plate. Be aggressive to it. Try to catch that ball out in front. See if you can hit this ball out to left field. Mike Mordecai was my first manager in the minor leagues, and one of the biggest things he said in these type of counts, I want it to be fair or foul. Go out there, get that bat head out.
Tying run at first, winning run at the plate for the Marlins here in the 9th. 3-1 coming. And Hernandez pops it up. That'll reach the seats. And now with the count full, Gabby, you will have Sanoha loosened up a little bit here at first. Now we'll see if Curtis Mead will hold the runner on at first. Oftentimes you will, to keep the runner as close as you can in case there's an extra base hit. It'll give you every opportunity to cut him down, and he will hold them on.
Yeah, he's going to hold them on. If I was Curtis Mead at first base at this point, instead of coming off the base, I would actually give myself some room and go back.
3-2. Outside, ball 4. He walked him. And now the tying run is at second. And the winning run is on at first for Leo Jimenez. And Simon Matthews is wearing out a path between that first base dugout and the pitcher's mound. He's going to come out and chat with Poulin. That's a really nice plate appearance for Heriberto Hernandez.
A lot of times too, you get called back up and you might want to do a little bit too much. And that's what I liked about Hernandez's at bat. That he was being patient. He wasn't just swinging to swing. He got into a hitter's count, got a good swing off. He ended up hitting it foul, but then didn't try to expand. Now all of a sudden the Marlins have the tying run on second. They have the winning run at first.
And they had absolutely nothing going with 2 outs and 2 strikes on Javier Sanoha.
The error will hurt you. Marlins are trying to capitalize on that error.
Just maybe the error will come back to bite C.J. Abrams and Washington here in the 9th. Here is Jimenez, who singled back in the second. He's 1 for 3. Chance to be a hero. Chance to at least tie it. Jimenez takes ball 1. Where the Nationals are hanging on for dear life here in the 9th. Just when Lord thought he had a save. Not so fast. The 1-0. Crowd not happy with Poulin keeping an eye on Sanoha. On a 1-0, Jimenez takes a strike.
That's the one where you're hitting. That's what you're keying in on. A fastball a little bit out over the plate. Something that you can handle and drive.
Plenty of speed on. And there's a lot of room out there in left center. 1-1. There's ball 2. I think Poulin's palms are sweaty.
And what I want to focus on too is Hernandez. He understands right now needs playing deep, right? So you can get yourself off the base because a ball in the gap, you want to try to score.
2-1 is caught on and missed. Good sweeper from Poulin. And once again, the Marlins find themselves down to their final strike here tonight. Leo Jimenez making just his 8th start of the season with the Marlins. He was acquired by Miami from Toronto. He's played sparingly, but he's going to start to play more since Graham Pauley was optioned. Huge opportunity for Jimenez here in the 9th. Here's Poulin's 2-2. He had a really healthy pass on that sweeper and hit it foul.
Like Jimenez was looking for that off-speed pitch too. He got the sweeper, just a tick underneath it. Good swing.
And let's see now if that changes Poulin's mind on the mound in terms of what he wants to throw. He has thrown Jimenez a fastball. In fact, he's thrown him 2.
I would think a fastball in right here to try to freeze Jimenez. So that's what I feel like Jimenez should be careful with.
Sanoja at second, decent lead, 2-2 coming. Here it is. That's wrapped foul. Well, he continues to throw that sweeper.
Yeah, he's trying to backdoor the sweeper. He's just leaving it enough to where Jimenez can get the bat hit out to it. He makes a mistake with that pitch. This ball can go a long way.
Marlins had nobody on and 2 out and a 2-strike count on Sanoja, and the inning started to open itself up after the error by Abrams at short. 2 aboard, 2 out. Deuces are wild. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball up the middle, right to Nunez, who will take it to the bag himself to end the ball game. And the Nationals hang on to win this one by a final score of 3-2.
I got to give it to Robbie Snelling coming out, making his debut in 5 strong innings. He did allow 3, but I felt like he pitched a heck of a ball game for the Marlins. They were able to get some of those runs back in the first. Just couldn't keep that offense going throughout the game.
Let's see if the Marlins can pick up the pieces, get back into the win column. Tomorrow afternoon, game 2 between Miami and Washington. Speaking of which, our next telecast will come your way tomorrow afternoon. We'll be on the air at 3:45 with our Marlins pregame show. Plenty more coverage from tonight's ball game is coming up next with Craig Mish and Rod Allen. So for Gabby Sanchez and Kelly Sacco, our director Matt Gerson, and our producer Max Michalak, I'm Kyle Seeloff. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. The Marlins postgame show is next.